Welcome to Bond STX. This is week 39, September 26th to September 30th. This is Lance, the Bargain Stock Bounty Hunter, back at you again with another great video and plays of the week. Got a special guest, Daz, joining me today, and he's going to continue to help out and give me some good plays of the week, good calls. And we'll get into it. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So if you're new to the channel, this is my scanner that I use on the weekend, kind of like an X marks the spot, as you see in the logo. That kind of gives me a point to go look into the charts, and from there, make some decisions on which ones I want to call out for the week. I'm looking for good trends. I'm looking for true value, and looking for something that will be undervalued as best as possible. So typically start off looking at the NASDAQ starting out, and man, what a rough week for those in the market, holding stocks in the market. Mutual funds plummeted last week, 401ks got plummeted last week. And so we look at the zone that we have been calling out for the last couple months. And we saw this has been in zone back in the early and late part of June, came out of zone, and everyone's like, yay, we were back out of the market. We're back in bullish mode. But here we go again. So we are back in this zone, and we see this coming down. We actually see it supporting exactly right in this long-term support here, which is where the zone starts, and it opens up as the year goes on. And so it's pretty much again a bearish market we're in now. A lot of talks about the market continuing to plummet even more, and so we'll see this week probably more continuation of that. I don't know if we'll see this come down further. So we'll look at the next low resistance. Let's see here, 3-year 1 day. So our next resistance here looks like it's going to be, if it blows past this, we're looking all the way back into 2020. And so we're looking at somewhere around 9,452 range. So that is a pretty steep drop from where we are today, but that's just kind of the market that we're in today. So no need to panic. It's just more of how you play the market to your advantage. And so I know we don't talk about options on this channel. That's something I'll look at doing here in the near future potentially, but if you're holding stocks or if you're looking at buying stocks, you definitely want to wait for that trend to turn around to get into a better situation. But if you're looking to hold for long term, this is still not a bad time to buy. So you'll see the market come down this week a little more. I think potentially by Friday, it could pull back some to the 10,905 to 11,000, low 11,000 range. So that's my projection for the NASDAQ. Moving on to the New York Stock Exchange, and we see a very similar pattern here. So we're looking at June, July range. You see the double bottom and then the pop. Everyone's excited, thinking we're out into the clear. But then we see the resistance on the 180-day SMA that I use here, and then we see exactly where we have support, comes down, and it touches a new low for the year. So New York Stock Exchange hit a record low for the year last week on Friday, you see here. And will that continue downward? Let's see the next stopping point for this one. So 3-year 1 day. Next stopping point looks like for the New York Stock Exchange at the 12,560 range. And so you look at, hey, how much of a drop that is from where we are today. So looking at highs, looking at about 27% from the highs of January. So kind of where we are. Again, both markets are very similar in that respect. It's out of the zone that we projected it to be in, but it feels like it can come back into that zone at some point. We do see the momentum pulling down. We see the MACD pulling down. It doesn't look very good. We do see a strong pullback here on Friday, but it didn't pull back a whole lot. So let's say by Friday, we're looking at 13,919 to 14,116 range. So that's my projection for the New York Stock Exchange. So let's get into the plays of the week. See what came out this week. Very short call outs this week, not a lot. Again, the market is very bearish, so it's very difficult to find good value stocks. Again, you don't want to try to catch a falling knife. You don't want to get into a bloodbath with stocks at this point. So you do want to kind of be a little bit more conservative during this point in time. And so coming in this week, we got Abbvie coming in at a trend of a 4, which is a pretty strong trend. It's $2.03 overpriced, coming at a true value of 141.03. So let's go to the charts and see what Abbvie is showing us this week, what opportunities we have. So looking at Abbvie, let's go to a 1 year, 1 day. And real quick, we've called this one out over the last couple weeks. Probably last month, we called this one out a few times. Came back in August, came down to our price point, pulled back up slightly, and then pulled back down the very next week. We called it out again the very next week, around the August 29th week. It really hovered around our price point heavily around that week. Moved up strong Thursday, Friday. Really good value starting to come back into that stock that week, and then we see it take off weeks after that. So it's definitely in a bullish mode. We see the MACD opening up, and we also see the momentum looking really good. Everything's kind of crossed up already for the most part. So if you got in back when we called it out, averaged down, you're in good money at this point now. But we do see the alligator that I use, the EMAs, opening up. We see there's still some uncovered manipulation going all the way back to August. Some uncovered manipulation at this 145 point. So there's some potential for that to come back. And we haven't seen that being covered yet. We almost saw it got covered a couple weeks ago. So you see this still continuing upward slightly. I do feel like this week you can get in at 139.89. I think that's still a really good price point for this stock. I think by Friday you can see this one get to 141.44 to 142.74. So even in a bearish market, we still see investors really selling this one at a good price. You still see investors buying this really at really high prices around the 142 range. So still think this one's really strong at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one pull back some, even down to the 136 range, but I do like it this week at 139.89. So that's my call out for Abbvie. Daz, what's your call out for Abbvie this week?
I got down 136.67.
136.67. All right. What's your thoughts on Abbvie?
Not too much. I can just everything going on in the market. I can just see a pullback from there to there. I mean, it's not too drastic, I don't think. It's roughly just roughly what, about 4 or 5%.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, this one seems to be going in the right direction. So we'll see how this one turns out. I think we did pretty good in our call outs before. But we do see, like I said, kind of the takeoff has already happened. So, all right, any more thoughts on this one? This one is in the cake too. I failed to mention that. So this one is in the cake. So this is a end zone of where the price point wants to be. And so we'll see if this one can stay in that zone. We haven't seen it pull out of that zone in quite a while. So Dad, you got anything else you want to say about Abbvie?
No, not for this one.
All right. Moving on to the next call out for the week, Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson comes in a trend of a 2. So it's a slight upward trend and coming in at 194 overpriced, a true value of 164.78. So let's go through the charts, look at Johnson & Johnson, see what we're seeing there. While I'm pulling this one out. We haven't analyzed Johnson & Johnson yet. This will be the first time we called this one out. Let's look at it 1 year, 1 day. Kind of see this one is a stock that stays in zone for the most part. So we see, again, this is my cake band. We look at this pinkish purplish lines here. This is where the price wants to be. This is kind of where it stays for the most part. So don't see it come out of zone very much, but we did see that around this time last year. It was under zone. We see it prop above zone around this April, May timeframe, then pulls right back down. It's been kind of just teeter-tottering over this SMA. So we see it below SMA at this point in time. We see it just come back out of zone, and now it's re-entered zone as of the last few weeks. And so we do see some manipulation here on 20 million shares on September 16th. And so we do see that be covered on the bottom side of that real quick the very next day. So we do see some opportunities, but I do see a nice little pattern here developing. Again, it is a trend of a 2, a slight upward trend over the last month. I do think there's some potential for this one to come back down to get real close to, again, this support range, which I call the cake band. And then we look at 163.35 being an opportunity based on kind of the trend that's been going on. So 163.35 sounds really good. I like where the MACD's at. Do like the momentum. So that's where I'm going this week with Johnson & Johnson. That's what's your call out for Johnson & Johnson this week.
Oh, wow. You got me on that one. I'm 164.61.
Pretty close. 61.
So I can be more bearish than on all of them this week, but I guess not.
Yeah, I figured we were going to be pretty far apart this week, so that's pretty close. Pretty close. So 64.61. All right. Any more thoughts on Johnson & Johnson you got? You seen in the charts? You like it? Love it? Lose it?
I like it. I like J&J.
Okay.
I mean, I think you'll make the money.
Sounds good. All right, moving on to the next one. Got this week is Moderna. So Moderna is coming in at a -2 trend. So it's a slight downward trend. $6.52 on sale already, coming at a true value of 130.16. Moderna's, we'll look at the charts here. Moderna is one we have called out a few times. This one has been a little bit difficult to price. So we'll look at our recent call outs here real quick. So we called this one out around the week of August 15th. Fell down, came down my price point that Thursday, fell through, and then came down, and it's been pretty flat over the last few weeks. Actually, we didn't do a video last week because we were both traveling, but I had already done my call outs, and so I called out 129.88. It fell through zone there. Last week, it actually came into that price point 3 days in a row. It fell through Thursday and Friday. So I think this week, I do see 120.73, see some potential support there. I don't necessarily like what I'm seeing in the MACD. Momentum looks just kind of blah, kind of okay there. But I do like this as a potential resistance here. So I see it was support. Now I see that will be resistance. So I do think as a in a 1 week trade, 5 days, I think you can turn around and make some money off of this one. I think 120.73 is really good. And by Friday, getting at 126.52, getting out around that range, or around 130.07. So you're looking at anywhere between 7 and 4.5% by Friday. So I see this being, I saw this being support before. Now I see this being a resistance. So I do like an opportunity for a quick weekly trade on this one. So that's my reason for calling out Moderna this week, just seeing some potential, seeing the uncovered manipulation that it's not been covered at 11 million shares being bought on 9/19. Those shares need to be covered. And so I've seen an opportunity for that to happen. So that's my call out for Moderna this week. So Daz, what's your price point for Moderna this week?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, so I got one. Yep, after this 119.52.
Okay, not too far off. 119.52. Any thoughts about Moderna? Like it, love it, lose it?
I like it, but it's one I wouldn't put too much in it though. Not right now. I don't think it's. I think Moderna had his run.
I would agree with you on that. I would agree with you.
Run.
It was very much hyped at a certain period of time. So yeah, I don't see it on here in conversation very much moving about. So
Yeah.
All right, next on the list, some more so as a long-term hold, Bloom Energy. Bloom Energy comes in -4 trend. Again, I don't typically like to call out stocks that are trending down, but I do see some things here. We'll go to the charts and I'll show $2 on sale already. True value of $23.36. So let's go to the charts on Bloom Energy. Been scanning this one for a couple months now and looking for some opportunities to get in. And looking at a 1 year, 1 day, this is the first time calling this one out. So we'll kind of go through that. This one really trades very well. When I look at patterns, look at how the other investors are trading this one. And we see, again, this is what I call my cake band. We see the SMA looking pretty flat for the most part. And we just see this constant up and down pattern here. And looks, again, pretty readable. I like the potential of this one being an energy stock, which is kind of a safe haven for a lot of investors during this kind of time period with the recessionary talks and a lot of talks about inflation. A lot of investors are moving into energy stocks. So this is a good one. Looking at the price points that I'm seeing, I think again, this is more of a long-term hold. I like going back to June, seeing a nice little support. And with this regression line I've got here, looking at the SMA, I do see a little bit of concern with this day of July 28th. See 7 million shares being traded, and we see some uncovered manipulation here. So I think there's some potential for this one to come back down to the zone. Also see a lot of manipulation, but this one's already been covered by 16 million shares. So we see the volume starting to trend up. Kind of like what I'm seeing in the MACD. Don't like what I'm seeing in the momentum. I do like the fact that this one is coming back down to the 180-day SMA, comes back down to a long-term progression line, and I like the fact that it may come down and cover this uncovered manipulation on the downside. So all that being said, 1930 is my price point for Bloom Energy, and I think by Friday, potential to get out. If you want to get out by Friday, you're looking at 2074 to 2174, anywhere between 7 and 13% by Friday. So call out for this one this week is 1930. That's what your call out for Bloom Energy this week.
Wow, that's mad close. 1929.
Kidding me, right? Gotta be kidding.
For real. And I like this stock a lot. I feel like it's worth 30 at least in the near future. After the recession or market crash, whatever they want to call it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I think I think you got a pretty good chance of getting in at that price. Maybe a little higher, like 1938. I would go
Okay.
up, but yeah.
So you think
I think it's pretty solid.
1938 is still a good price, you think? 1938?
Yeah, as I'm looking at it, I don't think that's bad.
Okay.
I think it's bad.
We were closer than I thought we'd be.
Honestly, and looking at it this way too, 1995 to 2026 might not be as bad either.
Mm-hmm. It's right around my 180-day SMA. So
Okay.
yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Well, that's it for the calls of the week, man. Plays of the week. Again, short call outs this week. Not a lot of great options, unless you're just looking to double down, average down. Again, that's another strategy. You know, if you're holding stocks, if you've got some cash flow, average down, buy some more at cheaper prices. Again, this is where a lot of money's being made, is when the market is crashing, if you're holding stocks. So don't be afraid to buy more, average down, but be smart about it. Just don't buy any type of company. Buy companies that, again, as I said before, that are name brand, companies that you've heard of, companies that other people have heard of. You know, if you're out here trying to hit home runs during this market, you're really risking a lot. So definitely stay with the name brand stocks during this time. So that's anything else you want to put on the table, or anything you want to talk about, anything you want to show? We still got a lot of time.
Not necessarily, but I will say I agree. Right now, if any, I would say watch the markets. I've been looking at the futures
Okay.
lately. So if you want to pull it up for 2 seconds if you want, slash ES.
What's it called?
Slash the
Okay. Backslash.
yeah, ES. And you can see there, it kind of give you kind of a little hint, you know, what's kind of going on, or how it might open up, you know. So
Man. Okay. Yeah. So
I
this
think
is
that's something I'm paying attention to this week heavily.
S&P 500 index futures. Okay. So this is one that you have traded with before. You just use this as kind of a indication of where the market may go.
I've never traded it. I know you can, but I've never done it in person. But I just use it as like a little hint, I guess you can say.
It doesn't look good, I will say.
No, not at all. Yeah, it don't
Doesn't
look good for a while, I don't think. I think the biggest break is going to be on the S&P 500 around like that 3650, 3600 range. I think that's where it'd be good to probably get back in at. Definitely, I think 3600 is probably going to be the best. But yeah, it's real.
61. It's a little higher, so it's below that already. 3689. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, look at this right here, bruh. Look at this. Oh my gosh. What dates are these? This is November 20th. So this is like the same point in time, right? November, fall time frame, 2020. Look at this. All this volume. We might easily see 3368 with that. All this is uncovered. It's crazy. Yeah, it's good stuff right there. Checked out anything on the US dollar lately?
Yeah, it's
Check it out. See where it's at.
what's it like?
So now I'm using the Swiss franc conversion. That's kind of typically what I look at. So yeah, it's moving right now at 98 cents. It's moving pretty heavy. It's turning bullish again. MACD, momentum, support here, SMA. Yeah, it's looking pretty strong. Like I said, as we speak, it's trading again, like I said, right at 98 cents. So that's gonna cause a lot of complications. You know, either way, it helps when it's low, depending on what sectors you're in. It helps when it's high, depending on what sectors you're in. But I do see this though, Daz. Look at this. Going back to June, I don't see it getting any higher. It's like the lows are. It's like the highs are getting a little lower. Also looks like the lows getting. Let's look at this real quick. Let's do some quick analysis. Like the lows also getting a little lower. You see this tick up here. See this little change, but may not be too bad. I think currently we're seeing the inflationary talks, and we're already seeing all the interest rates jump up. So I don't think the value will be able to hold long. So we'll see. All right.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to tell.
Well, the thing is, if since all the interest rates are jumping up, if it's harder to get a loan for people trying to get a loan from the bank, it's going to be harder to get that loan. The higher that dollar goes up, it's gonna have to keep going up to cover the loans that they're not getting. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's a bad sign from that standpoint. So.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. It's not good.
Let's look at oil real quick. So it looks like oil is trading currently at 85, 82, 85, 73 range, kind of going back and forth right now. It's actually falling quite a bit now. See that? I do see the MACD coming to the convergence and divergence coming to a cross here. Momentum is kind of flat for the most part. Man, look at price of oil is really dropping quite a bit. I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little bit. Yes, it's falling. It's been falling actually.
MACD's about to cross though.
On mine, I use this simple. I use simple. I don't use exponential. So it looks like they're going to cross, but it might be a fake out because it's still like it's falling. So going back further out, it's got long-term support here at $80.72. So it looks like it might be chasing back to that.
I can see that. Yeah, I agree.
So oil is looking better. Price of oil, well, that doesn't help freight. Obviously, from if you're using trains, it does help the logistics of using 18-wheelers, and planes, of course. Let's see, and then the other thing I look at is gold, price of gold. So gold futures, gold is down, still steadily dropping. Gold's been dropping as we've talked about before for a while. And man, look at this. This looks real funky. Momentum looks really bad. MACD looks pretty bad. Just hit a year low.
I said that looks terrible, actually.
Gold real bad. So,
Oh, have you seen Ethereum and Bitcoin?
yeah, I was just glad you brought that up. So I want to talk about that too. So let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Starting out first, active is looking nice. Momentum's looking kind of flat. Seeing some support there. Hit a year low. What last week or yeah, Friday looks like hit a year low. Looks like it's showing some support here though. At 18,646. Typically, value of the dollar goes down, this goes up. Value of the dollar goes up, this goes down. We just looked at the dollar. If the dollar does pull back, this should help. It should. You know, things might change on it. What's your thoughts on Bitcoin prices?
I think I mean, they got beat down from what 60 grand to where they are now. I mean, I don't own any crypto at all, but I think you're in trouble if Bitcoin breaks that 18,000.
On the downside.
Yeah, I think you're in trouble if that happens. I think Ethereum may be a little bit better than Bitcoin from what I saw before, and I was looking at the I mentioned the Ethereum Grayscale to you before too. Like they're back in real good prices again.
Yeah, let's see where they are real quick. I will say
and I see it on the screen too. Yeah, them and Carnival, they're back in really good prices again.
I will say real quick, looking at Bitcoin, it does look like it's in divergence, which is something that's pretty interesting because you kind of want to follow it to it breaks that point of going into convergence, and that's when you're looking at making a lot of money. So looks like it's kind of in divergent. If you go from here to here, it's going up, and from here to here, it's going up, and then it breaks down. So something to look out for. It may spring up before you know it. Let's go to Ethereum Grayscale real quick. Yeah, this one moves off of the Ethereum crypto. Prices, I think me and you had talked about anything around 10, 11. It's down to 917. Man, these are good prices. One thing I will point out when we get to Ethereum chart, it has been something interesting in that one that's can't quite grasp what the heck's going on. But this one tends to want to pull down quite a bit. I'm looking at $7, man. A good buy range at this point. This looks a little flat here. That's something so a little interesting too. So
yeah, and I'll say this though, if it goes down to that, what is that, the year low, 685? I think that's a good entry level.
Okay. So let's go to Ethereum real quick. Just to point out something. Look at this MACD. Look at this. So I don't know if I've ever seen a MACD look like this. It's like it wants to turn bullish, but it's like it wants to be flat. I just I've never seen a MACD look like this right here. This is incredible. Momentum looks pretty interesting. Just don't know if it's going to fall anymore. I think it just like it may be setting itself up for another launch. I just don't know when that would happen. But I was looking at that this weekend, like, man, this looks really strange in here. It's Never seen a MACD look like this. I don't know what that means, but it looks real strange. So, support wise, seems to be wanting to hold at 1257 support wise, but it did the same crap here for like almost 2 or 3 weeks. Held, wanted to hold around the 15 range, and then just fell down. So now it's like holding around the 12. It's trading at 1304, around that range now. Looks like, I don't know if that's accurate since we're looking at TD Ameritrade. Let's look at where I have it trade, seeing it trade now. 1307, so pretty close. So it's trading at 1307 right now. But I mean, who knows? I mean, these things are like they're so hard to gauge because got so many hands in it now. So, it used to be fun to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the institution have taken the fun out of it. Trying to regulate it too much. But yeah, good stuff, man. Daz, anything else you want to look at, talk about? Daz, anything else you want to talk about?
No, not for me tonight. I think that's everything.
All right, good deal. Well, thanks for joining me, and thank you all on the viewers, the listeners. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate the support, and continue watching. Again, we're going to do our best to give you the best content, try to bring you the best calls out for the week, and continue to watch. And we still have some more things we want to kind of bring to the table for everyone. Some things we want to kind of show, and I think we kind of alluded to a little bit of some other things we might be working on in terms of options. And so keep looking out, keep watching, and share with other people who who enjoy technical trading. Even if you don't enjoy technical trading, you might be able to learn something from it. So appreciate all the support, and look forward to having you join us next week, and good luck trading this week. Thank you.